So you want this? You want these? You're probably skinny and you probably don't want that. So how do you get this? How do you become muscular as a teenager? Are you sick and tired of being weak, of being skinny, of looking in the mirror and not seeing these? Well, you clicked on the right video. This is specialized for teenagers. If you're grown up, you could watch. This is also a beginner's guide. If you're a bit more intermediate, but you didn't make that many gains, still consider watching this video because it could help you. Why is my necklace out of my thing? Well, I also want to be muscular a little bit more than a year ago. Yes, I'm only doing this for about a year, a bit more than a year. I also wanted to be muscular. I was skinny. Like I was doing gymnastics. I maybe had a little bump right here, less than this. But I also had the same dream. So what I did was I downloaded some apps, some of these workout apps, these six-pack apps, and okay, I was not consistent in them. I remember one time I was doing it for a week and I saw a little bit of my abs come out. And I was like, whoa, and then, yes, I did not work out for like a month and my six-pack went away. So how did I go from that to this? I will give you an explanation. First, I need to explain to you how the muscles work because this really fueled me. Because once I watched a short of what it was titled "How Muscles Work," was like an animation. You probably maybe even saw it yourself. It was an animation on how muscles grow, and I was like, whoa! I also want to do that. So what I did was ask my parents, how do I train? They first put me on a home schedule, workout schedule. Okay, I was consistent. So let me explain how they work. Muscles are built out of muscle fibers. I have a band right here to explain. They're quite literally the exact opposite of this band, but they kind of look like it. Your muscles are normally stretched. Let's say this is a muscle fiber from my biceps. Now the muscle is stretched. But now, if I do this, you can see the muscle gets shorter, but also gets bigger. So what happens is, first you can see they're a bit thinner, and then they get a bit thicker. This might not seem like a lot, but your muscles are built out of bundles, so let's say bundles of muscle fibers. A lot of them. And between those bundles there is some, I don't know what they're called in English, but they are built out of a lot of muscle fibers. So you could imagine how much of a difference it could make. Your muscle fibers are very thin. And if you see this, if this is in larger scale, muscles are now stretched, and now if you flex them, they get a bit bigger. This is not how your muscles get thicker. There won't get any room, but there's just a little bit of demonstration. But after training, you work the muscle fibers a lot. And what could happen is they get small tears. I don't have any tears in this one, but they get what is called micro tears. And micro tears might sound scary. Oh no, my muscles are tearing. No, they're not. They're not. Of course, they're not getting weaker exactly. Only at the moment they will be weaker. But if you eat, you get all these you get nutrition in, and the muscles are built out of proteins and I think other micronutrients. I don't think a lot of micronutrients, but they rebuild because of protein. So if you eat a lot of protein, especially if you bulk a lot of protein, they will regenerate. And they won't just regenerate, they will grow bigger and stronger. That's how muscles grow. And the process of growing the muscles or growing any organ is called hypertrophy. So I always thought that hypertrophy meant training till failure and that the micro tears were the hypertrophy, but it's growing the muscles, that's hypertrophy. So the fibers get bigger after rebuilding. Now, first step. Now we get to the actions, to the real knowledge, so you can get muscular just like me. First few months of going to the gym, don't train. Don't do workouts. What you should do is is train form or try out your form. Practice your form, yes. And experimenting with your environment. For example, if you go to a gym and you want to do a workout immediately, first you gotta think, where is what is this? Smith machine? What's a Smith machine? Oh, that thing, I thought that was a pull-up bar. I thought it was a cyberpunk pull-up bar, no. You should first just go to a gym and just try out some machines. Don't do any workout, don't do some dangerous stuff yet. First day, all you need to do is just know where everything is. And try to learn as much as possible. The first few months are boring, and this is a mistake of mine. I didn't do what I just told you. I did not first practice my form. And now I am practicing my form for dumbbell bench press. Yes. Because I didn't practice it yet, I didn't think it was that important. But now my form is bad. Okay, but my isolation exercises form are good because I did those. But if you're, as a teenager, you're still developing. Your brain is still developing. Your muscle memory is still developing. And try to get advantage of it and get good form. Now I'm practicing, trying to get the perfect form, but first start practicing form and experiment. Learn how you need to set up a bench press. I also made a mistake. I didn't really learn how to set up a bench press safely. I know you need to load up and then clip, but I kind of failed a few times. Practice the good habits like eating healthy. This is also very important. This is what I actually got right, and many fail at it. So I think this is even more important. Practice good habits, good training habits, good eating habits, good living habits. Like eating healthy in the first few months. Just practice it. You don't need to go on a bulk yet because you're not training and you don't want to gain fat. But just practice. Practice eating healthy foods like chicken and rice. It isn't really about nutrition for teenagers. Isn't really about what you should eat. It's about what you should not eat and what you should not eat is junk food and sweets. Eliminate that, and you will be set for life. Literally, if you practice that's awesome. Also practice other habits like, I never did this about tracking your macros. I don't know. I never did those things. Or tracking your weight. I also did not do that. You could apparently do that with your MyFitnessPal. It's an app. I never used it. I never did anything. What I want you to do, actually, what I also kind of regret, I can't really show you my physique of a few years ago because I didn't start with a progress picture. If you're really beginning, if you never went to the gym, post a not post one, but make a progress picture. Just put it in your gallery. You don't even need to post it on social media or something. Even if it's skinny, if there's no muscle, just try to flex. Maybe you don't even have the mind muscle connection, so you don't even know how to flex. But just try a few poses like this, just this, or okay, this doesn't really work, or you're flexing your abs, just still, your back. Try that. Actually do that. That's an actual step, because that will save you a regret. Okay, I regret not really making a progress picture in the beginning. Now, that cleared. 2. Training till failure. I also spoiled the other one because I kind of forgot doing that. So 2 is training till failure. 3 is use progressive overload. 4, be consistent. 5, never stop improving. Now 2, train till failure. Why should you even train till failure? I explained to you how the muscles work, right? You want to create the micro tears. And you do that by using them a lot. So train to absolute failure. In the beginning, it might not be possible because you don't really have the mind-muscle connection. That's why, of course, you do the first step, and that's first few months don't train. Just experiment. So you should train not just till it hurts. That's not failure. That's just a little bit of pain. You should train or do a set or a rep. No, a set. Sorry. Do reps until you can't lift the weight anymore. So if you have a weight, if you have a weight, you should lift the weight, and most people, not even just teenagers, also many other grown-ups, just do this, and then a little bit of soreness, drop. No, what you should do is train until you cannot, until it really hurts, and keep going, and until you cannot even lift it anymore. Try to push as hard as possible. If you cannot, then don't even drop the weight. If you're a bit more advanced, if you are really a man, prove it. Don't just drop it. Maybe jerk it a little bit, cheat it a little bit, and then slowly centrics, so you destroy your muscles. And micro tears does not mean heavy weights. Don't do that. You could destroy your tendons, and that literally tears your muscles off your bones, and you don't want that. But train to absolute failure, and this hurts in the beginning, and this has a lot of friction of you doing it. You probably don't want to do it, but you should keep going. And after a while of training the same muscles, then it doesn't really hurt anymore. The pain kind of feels good then. It doesn't feel horrible anymore. So keep going then. And that doesn't just, this only works local, sadly. So if you train your biceps a lot and you are kind of pain resistant in your biceps, then you might not be pain resistant in your chest if you haven't trained it a lot. This is another regret of mine. In the beginning, and then I don't mean the first few months, but just in the beginning, don't, or actually do, train every muscle in your body. Even your legs, they might not make you look the best, but if you train it, you will build pain tolerance in your legs, and that's a regret of mine because I haven't really trained my forearms a lot. That's why they look skinny, and that's also why it literally burns when I train it. It straight up burns. It hurts. Okay, but or your legs. I don't really train legs a lot because I cycle 8 kilometers every day. So, okay, now we got that. Also, now 3. Use progressive overload. Might have heard this a lot, but progressive overload is the gradual increase in something. In our examples, it's going to be weight, consistency and stuff, and then building it up consistently in a period of time. So what does this mean? What does this practically mean? What I mean with this is, what you should do is every time, for example, if you train biceps and you train them like once or twice a week, after one workout, what you do is, of course, rest first, but the next workout you do 1 rep more, then a workout after that, another rep more, workout after that, another rep more, and then eventually you could increase the weight by the smallest amount. That's how you do that with the biceps. So the reps in a set I recommend to you is around 14. Many people tell you the 12 or 10 rep range, but for teenagers it could be a bit risky. It could injure you. So I recommend the 14 rep range, around that. So if you first do 14 reps with one weight, with, for example, let's say 8 kg, then the next time you do 15 reps, and then the next time you do 16 reps, next time maybe even 17 reps, then eventually you'll increase it to 10 kg. Understand? And don't make this limited. Push till extreme failure, to complete failure. You just do that, okay? That's progressive overload, but you cannot just only do it in the workouts, like with weights. You could also do this with the consistency. So the first month you do twice a week, next month 3 times a week, next month 4 times a week. You could build it up like that too. You could use this in every aspect of life. There's also progressive deload, which you can use for the sweets and junk foods. Now, 4th one, be consistent. This is the one reason why everybody fails. Not just teenagers, grown-ups as well. I saw every teenager I saw in the gym, literally everyone. I saw them once, twice, maybe one even 3 times, and I never saw them again. I am probably the youngest that works out in the gym. If you work out at home, also follow this, of course, because if you're not allowed to go to a gym, if it has an age limit, you can't go there, fine. buy equipment. Of course, not every teenager can buy it. I can make a separate video about how what equipment you need. Okay. Consistency is very important. You need to stay consistent, or else you will fail. If you're not consistent, you will fail. Why is it so important? If you're not, I'll just say this: if you don't go to the gym consistently, you also won't have consistent gains. It's as simple as that. If you want consistent gains, if you want a lot of gains, go consistently. And how many people say consistency is very important, and then they'll go to the next one, and then there's 3. I don't know, the donut diet. They won't explain to you, many people won't explain to you how to do something, but they will tell you how you need to do it, but you don't know how. How do you do this? How do you be consistent? It's a big problem for many people, not just in bodybuilding, but in every aspect of life. I have learned how to be consistent in many aspects. Something is stuck. God dang it. Okay, sorry for the interruption. But how do you be consistent? In the previous video I told, or maybe in the next video, I don't know. I will tell you this time. Don't, or my brain isn't working anymore. Have a habit tracker. Keep your times you go to the gym with a habit tracker. You don't even need to buy one. You could maybe even make one with these squares and all the other stuff. Or you could just go on a website like Notion. They have great habit tracker templates. I never used habit trackers, but I use something like habit trackers, like keeping it in my journal. But habit trackers are very powerful. I have an app of my gym. It has a certain app, and there you can see in the app you can see how many times you went to the gym and when you went. So it's 1 week like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And when you go, there's this big green mark. And that spikes up a lot of dopamine. And that makes you think, wow, I like that. I want to have a full-on row. Or I want to have it 4 times or 3 times. Whatever your goal is. And that makes you kind of accountable. You want it, you'll be a bit more motivated, and this is how you can stay consistent. You can just think, why aren't you consistent? What is the reason? If your workouts were very fun, if it was like video games or scrolling, you would be very consistent, right? Yes, but there's a lot of friction in your workouts, especially if you're a beginner, because your workouts are more painful and it is more uncomfortable, and you are not really used to that discomfort. So what do you need to do? Spice up your workouts, of course. Make them a bit more fun. How do you make them a bit more fun? That's, you might think, but that's impossible. This pain is inevitable. I can't. Of course you can. Ways to spice up your workouts are things like staying nice, warm and sweaty. You will have better workouts when you're warm and sweaty, and trust me, you can push better, and you will go home and feel proud. And many beginners don't go like that because their body and brain has associated workouts and the painful things with something positive. They think your body and brain thinks, what the hell are you doing? Why are you hurting yourself? Why are you destroying your muscles? That's very bad. But after a while, I don't know how long it takes. It could take a few months. It could take a year for some people. But at some point, your body and brain will think, wait a minute. This kid, or your body and brain probably thinks, this man has had a lot of workouts recently, and were very painful. They damaged his muscles, but nothing happened. He didn't get eaten by what creatures could I say? He didn't get eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. He didn't get knocked out by a giant gorilla and smashed in the floor by a massive cobra. No. He actually got something positive. He got muscles. Now he is able to protect himself. So these workouts are good. Keep going. Do more workouts. And that's how your body associates workouts with something good. It can take a long time. You need to have discipline for the first times. So have a why, have a reason, try to motivate yourself, stay consistent, keep going. You will make it. If you do that, if you just be consistent, you will make it. Now, fifth and last one, but not least, is never stop improving. Many people, after a few years, their gains just flatten out. So first, they make a lot of gains and they think it's noob gains, and then it flattens out, and then they blame it on noob gains. But yes, of course, it's partially noob gains, but it's not just noob gains. They could still it could still be a bit like this. They could still grow. And why don't they grow? They don't improve anymore. They do the same workouts. They think they're being very strong and productive. Of course, it's productive to go to the gym, but now it's more maintenance. They don't do progressive overload as much as they used to. They don't push as hard as they used to. Of course, pushing to failure is now easy, but they have the capacity to do more, but they don't do it. It needs to stay painful. It needs to stay gritty, not gritty, gritty. Grit, not. Why did I think about that? But it needs to stay hard. And you might think, but if I do big workouts, I'm fine, right? Well, I shouldn't overtrain, right? Of course not, you should not overtrain. There's still something to improve. Even for me, there's still something to improve. Well, what else? I will give you some examples. Explain how you can do it. Like doing an extra kilometer of running or an extra mile of running. Like before a workout as a warming up. That's hard. Or stretching after your workout. Improves you. Or doing an extra set for a left bicep. This is a problem for me. I do this. Like doing an extra set for a left bicep because it's a bit smaller than the right one. Maybe you could see, yes, you can see. Or maybe doing 2 sets of J curls. If you don't know what J curls is it sounds like a weird bicep curl exercise, but it's a kind of deadlift, only you don't work out the muscles, you stretch them. So you just go like this. You do that with a barbell standing on a platform. It stretches your back entirely, would also improve your posture. Like if you have even a little bit of a hunchback or a nerd neck, whatever you want to call it. Just do a few. It will improve. Keep improving. Never stop learning. Never stop improving. Just keep going, okay? If you do these things, probably after a year or two, even after a year, you will see progress. Guaranteed. If you don't quit after a year, you will. If you then just compare yourself with you a few years, a year later, you'll see progress. That's what it's about. Maybe you won't see my progress, but it's still better than last year. The years will go by anyway, and starting your fitness journey is just good. Why start it after when you're grown up? Why not start right now? Even if you're young, if you cannot lift weights yet, do push-ups. Just start your fitness journey. Why not? If you do that, if you do all the hard workouts, if you put in the effort, it's not easy. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. It's not easy. But what's on the other side is a nice physique. I'm not even at my maximum physique yet. I'm still improving. I'm still learning. But if you keep going, on the other side there's there's you scaring away the bullies, not getting bullied anymore. There's you looking in the mirror, seeing your nice biceps, seeing your abs, and thinking, wow, that's not me that I did did this. It's my younger self. You will be proud, trust me. You will be more confident. You will walk around the streets instead of like sitting on your phone like this. You will just walk around like this. It is worth it. Now a short summary of all the actionable steps. So, first thing, first few months, just don't train, experiment and train form, or practice form, whatever you want to call it. Train to absolute failure until you can't move the muscles anymore, or not move the weights good. Use progressive overload, do this consistently, maybe a headache, keep going. Be consistent, very important. Like use a habit tracker with a goal and spice it up with like sweaty workouts. Keep going, be patient. It will all work out eventually. And never stop improving. Always do that. If you found this video helpful, this really helped you, if you're interested in my videos, in the future I will probably launch a course about the same topic. It's a beginner course on bodybuilding for teenagers. If you're interested, maybe comment. Yes, it will help the algorithm, but just try to let me know. Thanks for watching. Hope this is helpful. Bye.